been posting online content for 4 months now. So, what have I learned? Well, I'm here to share that and my suggestions for the game. So, what I've learned is that for the first maybe week or month of the game actually coming out, most people are not going to be touching Destiny unless they're playing like Legato. So, most people are not going to be good at the TODs. But that's basically a stretch because like Parsec isn't rollback netcode, right? People will still probably be TOD on the rollback netcode a lot, so it could change with that. But the thing I have actually run into a lot is that characters that want Oki in this game, or like if you just want Oki in general, are fucked because Knockdown is just terrible. So if you put your opponent in Knockdown, this is what they can do. So they stay on the ground if they don't press anything, right? They stay on the ground for like a second or two. And in between landing on the ground and getting up, the game forcing them to get up, they can press up at any point for free 19 frames of invincibility. Now, if I knock someone down, I am basically mixing myself up if I wanted pressure there. Because I'd have to account for them delaying quickstanding immediately, or just waiting until the end. Like you'll usually see the animation of them standing up and then they quickstand. They can be mid standing up at the end of that long wait, which you can't hit them because they're on the ground, right? And then they'll just press up on quickstand, and then you mistime your Oki. And if you mistime Oki, like even if you mistime a jab, they'll jab you back and kill you. So like, please, Angry Dev, like, change knockdowns. Like, make it that you need to press up or your roll inputs as soon as you hit the ground, or you just can't do it and you're forced into a hard knockdown. Well, not a hard knockdown. Make it like a medium knockdown. Medium knockdown is like you get up with an invincibility, right? But it's like it forced you into that medium knockdown, which is consistent. Because Oki needs to be consistent for most of these characters if you're going to do the thing that I think you're going to do next. The thing I want you to do next, the thing I hope is going to happen, is an IPS, an infinite progression system. Because every character is touch of deathing right now. There's almost no difference between characters right now unless they have mix-ups. The only defining factor, the only way my tier list is formed off of is if they have mix or not. That's literally the only thing. It's either that or like how easy it is to touch or death with them. And that's it. There's almost no diversity if damage is just basically the same. Because why would you want Oki or set play or setups if you can just touch of death? That's why Millions is so close to being bottom tier. But because the stand kind of makes him not get pressured, it's okay for him. But if he gets hit once, he dies. So, like, that is why, even though these characters you'll see on my tier list, there's still a viable tier list. That's only viable because they get a touch on you and you die. But that's mostly not going to happen. They're mostly going to get touched once and die. So you just have to outplay them. There's really no difference between these characters at all. But just how easy or how applicable is their mix, and can they mix you meterless? I mean, can they touch your death you meterless? Or can they touch you death you from mid-screen? Like, can they touch your death you from many situations? Like, how many different flavors of touch of death do you have? Like, it's just, this game evolves around touch of death, and that's not really that good. That's pretty unhealthy to me, I'm not gonna lie. Because then, at that point, burst is useless. Unless you had meter from the last round, because they just touch you once and you die. You don't get enough meter. So I don't want them to add something that's like moves just give the opponent meter when you hit them. They should just add a IPS that stops you at like 20 hits, 20 to 30 hits. Like that's what they should move it at, 20 to 30 hits, and that's okay. Actually, that's 20 hits. Yeah, that's 20 hits. Nothing's multi-hit enough for anything else to care, and nothing else that much to matter. But like, seriously, unless you are ending a combo with a EX, nothing should really be going over 20 hits in this game, because everything apart from that is just loops. The hits on decay acts as soon as you hit like 11 hits, and then from there people just loop. There's no real flavor. There's no real style. There's just damage. That's all there is after that. And then that takes me to burst. Now burst is just kind of garbage right now. So I'm the kind of person that will quicksand immediately almost all the time. So I'm just trying to emulate how it would be if like you had to quicksand immediately. I'm just trying to do that so I can look at my videos and see how burst would actually work in a game where knockdowns are actually like Oki is actually a thing, because there's no Oki in this game. That doesn't exist unless you have an OTG or something that just lasts a long time like Miller's End. There's actually no Oki in this game. So that would, like, doing that quicksand all the time when they burst has led me to believe that burst is basically plus on hit. So like if you burst someone, you literally just get a jump in. That's happened like 100 times as I'm playing. Now I wouldn't say that's unhealthy, except you can burst immediately as soon as someone does like 2H. So you don't even have to take them to the air. You can basically never bait burst in this game, because the grounded combos are not good enough for that. The grounded combos are just end with like if you're lucky you have a grounded thing that ends with a knockdown. The only character I was able to base burst with is like Jin and Alexis. And Alexis because it's 2S, and Jin because it's 5, because his standing medium is super good. But like Alexis is the only plausible character there. Like Jin, you can always just burst his 2H. You can just burst every character's 2H. So they have to have like a sweep that combos, and then you have to bait it with that. But even with Alexis's he can if they burst immediately, they can still hit his hand. So there's no baiting burst. And then even when you do like bait the burst, you don't get a punish, which is good. I don't want you to be able to punish someone's burst with how high the damage would be. Even if they remove touch of death, the damage in this game would still be high. But at least there would be a difference between characters. But the damage, it would still be high. So I want it to be like +0. Like it just returns you to neutral. Because I don't like burst should just launch you away. They should not like put you in knockdown at that point. They should just like, it would be like a wind box. It would just blast you away while doing the damage like this, whatever. But yeah, there's no reason for burst to be giving me so much Oki. Like if you are pressuring someone and then they finally hit you out of whatever fake ass block string you did, then you just burst them, and then you're so plus there. It's like as if you landed a sweep at that point. So yeah, that's what I think about that. And I think the last thing is auto parries. Auto parries are garbage in this game. So the characters that parries are Kath and Summer. So parries in general should not be universal in this game. For one reason, parries will only make the good characters better, and the worst characters still terrible. They'll still be ass. Like Hyde with parry might be good, but then they'd always just parry your dash ups. They'd always parry your jump ins, and you don't have plus jump ins if they don't block. If they parry, you are dead. So like, I don't even think parry should be in the game. It just happens to be there at that point. But one of the things that annoys the hell out of me is that parries invalidates cross-ups as of right now because of a bug or whatever. Because if you hold back and they cross-up you, you auto-parry them. Like automatically. Let me explain this better. Like if Akira does his shuriports, where he does his shuriken and teleports, right? And he just hold back, there's a very big chance you auto parry the shuriken. But a very easy way to see this is to just crouch block with Cath, and then Cath or Summer, and then make the enemy and let the enemy Shinta use as teleports back hit, whatever. If you just hold back, you literally auto parry that, and then you get a free punish. It's terrible because the only mix that's universal in this game, that's like at least semi-universal, is cross-up mix. And cross-up mix is what most characters live or die on. Like Eden barely functions without it. He barely functions so much that I had to develop a double overhead mix with him, which luckily is good. So that's why he stays in high tier. But still, even then, what's a character like Mega Kid supposed to do? Mega Kid has nothing against someone that's blocking. He has a slow ass overhead, which people will always just look at it and just like block. So unless you're using it like 1 out of 20 times, it's not gonna happen. And even if you use it that 1 out of 20 times, it's not gonna be good because there's no mental stack. There's just 2 options. You have a low and an overhead. You have a cross-up mix, but the cross-up mix doesn't give you anything. So what can Mega Kid do? Mega Kid can only just chip you, like chip your block. That's all you can do. Well, like what's let me think another character. Like what's Viki supposed to do? What's Viki, the poster child of this game? What's he supposed to do? He has nothing. He has okay zoning. He has nothing else. He does do nothing else. Apart from cross-up jump H, he has nothing at all. Like MT lows in this game are pretty bad because I don't know why. You can fuzzy them easier in this game than like Street Fighter, but you can fuzzy them really easily, and I'm not really sad about that or whatever. It's just something. It's just a fact about the game. You can't really MC load that good in this game, and yeah, the mix in this game is just not good if there's no cross-ups, which is why parries are like terrible because parry option selects are gonna be ass. Even with this patch, even with like let's say they fix parries, look at the options like people are gonna need. They're gonna see an I-80 and they're gonna tap back. If you cross up, they parry. If you don't cross up, they block. This is terrible. Like that is terrible. Because I know that will for a fact work. They gotta put a what's it called? Let me think real quick. What they gotta do is put a cooldown on parry anytime you get crossed up. Because I do not want any option select which parried that just defeats the main mix in the game. Like third strike, you have a universal overhead that's slow so that people can't fuzzy against it. Because you also have other overheads and lows and shit and cross ups like that. But like this game, you don't have nothing like that. You don't even have a grab. You can't even strike throw in this game yet. So like also add throws. But yeah, you can't even strike throw. So like if you had strike throw, this would be a much this would be like dampened a bit, but like it's not even, it still would be terrible because then you just always take the throw. Because throws will not do that much damage. Will probably not give Oki either. So yeah, fix parries, make it not work on cross-ups like at all. Like make it have a cooldown at that point. Like a cooldown of like 10 frames or like 5 frames. Like if they cross up you for like if your position, like where you're facing switched for more than 10 frames, then you can parry, or like more than 5 frames. Because instant cross-ups, they need to be in the game. As unfair it might seem, like it might feel to get hit by them, they're just mix-ups, and they belong in the game where most characters need them. Finally, it's about the balance of the game. So, the balance is pretty good apart from 4 characters that need buffs. And the last character I'm going to mention here doesn't need buffs. Like, he would love buffs, but like right now he's just pretty fun. So like, first and foremost, Hyde. Added Hyde to the game. Hyde is pretty trash, honestly. Hyde is terrible. She is super clunky, is a zoner grappler, which is not bad in itself, but she's not good at either zoning or grappling. She's not even decent at both. She's the epitome of take the throw, because her throws do give her no pressure at all. But she's also annoying as heck, because her roll into her grab, the whole thing is just invincible. If you roll and grab, there is no gap there of invincibility. There's just invincibility the full way, and you cannot punish the grab either. So, what it should do is remove that. Make the roll invincible, sure, and make it be able to be punished if I jab it after it's done. And then if she does into the grab should not be invincible. Or it can be invincible for the first frames. Let me actually be able to punish it if I read it. Because there's no reason I shouldn't be able to punish someone for roll grabbing 7 times in a row. Because the only way you can punish someone from rolling consecutively is by punishing them in the startup of the roll, which is almost never going to happen, because she could just block. And then if you jump the roll grab, she could just roll into chase you down, or stuff like that. That's basically a mix, but it's not really mixed at all. It's just cancer. It's just terrible. Like, honestly, that's really like really unhealthy for the game. Because the character is supposed to be fun, right? The character is supposed to be like fun, but like, you just bank off of this one terribly designed move. Like, I don't know what's happened in the coding that roll grab is fully invincible, unpunishable. I don't know what happened there, honestly. And the funny thing is that even with that broken ass move, she's still like bottom tier. She's still like the worst character in this game by far. Even Ben's better, because Ben actually has stuff that leads to his win condition. Like, what are you gonna do off of hide grab in neutral? You just reset neutral, and you're not even plus at that point. You're a full screen. Anyone can enter you. So, yeah, what it should do is, make the roll grab not invincible the full way. Like, make the grab, like, sure, make it invincible. Make the invincibility last until the grab is done. But the recovery of the grab should not be invincible at all. You should be able to punish that. I don't mind that it's invincible on an invincible startup, because it's really easy to telegraph. But at least make it not that I cannot punish it at all, just at all. And then make her overhead action an overhead. Yeah, I don't know why that's bugged. Make a grab, give her Oki, or just make her give Oki instead. Yeah, just Oki, or a hard knockdown. Like, go ahead, think here. Yeah, make it give Oki. Just make it like, what grab that would be close to? Yeah, this will not be close to any grab. Just make the grab act like a sweep. Just make it like, just bounce them up and then down. Like, you can combo from it unless you're in the corner or whatever, sure. But you just make it give Oki. Like, leave the grab as it is, but give her Oki, so that she can also loop the situation, because that's what her grappler does. Let her have a vortex or whatever, sure. And then, that's Hyde. And then we have Cyber Knight. Cyber Knight, make him good without install. Remove the install glitch if you want, because it will probably be banned in tournaments anyway. If you want, remove the install glitch, and then make install overhead, give a combo, or make it able to dash cancel it, or just make it give knockdown. Yeah, just make it give a knockdown. Like, either one of those. And then, make Cyber Knight good without install, please. Thank you. And for an install, when he's in install, make it that, make sure, like, of course the IPS, the infinite position system would probably stop this. But even then, make it that he doesn't have infinite dash cancels. I think that's a bit unfair, just a bit. Like, make it that he has, make it that dash cancel instead just uses like half a bar of his install meter. Like, make it do that, like half a bar. I think that's good. How many dash cancels do you have then? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. He'd only have 4 dash cancels in that thing. Now, he'd still be pretty bad. But, do you know what you could do? Give him an invincible reversal. Give him that. Make his 6S invincible on startup. Now, you might think that's a pretty bad idea, but at least he would be able to get out pressure way easier. Like, it would be something there because he can't really burst. Now, it's either that or you rework burst to have its own meter, which I doubt you'll do. Or it's that, or you give him his own special bar where the more damage he takes, it fills up the bar and then he can burst. Reusing that bar and not needing to use meter to burst. This is all what you want to do though. He's an original character, so you can do whatever you want with him. But yeah, just make him good at install, and he's basically low tier, but at least he's good. At least he's not unplayable, almost unplayable like he is right now. Okay. And make all, I forgot, there's 2 Lazarus, right? Yeah, buff Lazarus, give him mix. Make his 4S and overhead, make it like a Gale Strive Dust. Make his kicks then, where he does that kick that is hard knockdown way. Make that an overhead. Yeah, do that. And then make his what's it called? Make his slide then. Is that slide? I don't know. His kicks. Make his kicks have a punch ender that gives him a launch. That is basically a launcher. Like, let's make that move have a punch at the end, where he just spins it as a punch, and then make him be able to jump cancel that into a combo, because that thing is useless right now. And then who else is Lady K? Make her grab an actual grab, and then make at least one special move from her safe. Like, make it a special move safe. Like, even if it needs to be from full screen to be safe, make one safe or plus. Because she cannot do anything. She cannot get in at all. Or either that, you can give her a fast jab. Just make her standing jab fast, or a crouching one. I don't care. Just make one fast. And make her that her 4S invincibility. Make her on startup instead of just midway. Just make it invincible on startup, like Shinta's teleport. And finally, make all crouching heavies like negative attack. Like, not negative enough to punish, but like lose your turn. Because right now I'm seeing from the last 2 characters I looked at, the crouching heavies are +0, which is pretty concerning because they can just basically loop their stuff as long as their frame rate is better. They can just loop their pressure.